Your system's working, emails are sending, clients are moving through, but everything still feels a little bit dead inside. Today on FAFO Tested, we are reviving your customer experience with something better than automation. Welcome to the Op Shop Show, and on today's episode of FAFO Tested, we are diving into customer journeys that are adaptive, not automated. When we first start out in our businesses, we are handling every single client manually. But at some point, we do realize this is not sustainable. When we look at our client experience, there are so many levers that we can pull. But today, I'm just going to focus on the main two. The x-axis, which is how tasks are performed. So from a scale of manual to automated, and then the y-axis, which is what the client receives from template through custom. I'm going to walk you through the 4 stages of client experience, and more importantly, why most businesses get stuck before they ever reach the holy grail, an adaptive experience that scales without losing the human touch. And to make this real, let's follow Sarah, who runs a boutique creative agency specializing in Facebook ads and social media strategy. Let's dive into stage 1. This is where every business starts, handling everything manually and customizing every single detail for an individual client. So our friend Sarah, she's on Zoom calls with every new lead. She's crafting custom strategy docs for each client, and she's manually checking on ad performance to adjust spend in real time. She's in the personal stage, where the client experience is highly customized, but it's also extremely manual. So the problem here, if you glance at this matrix, is she's stuck in this corner here. As demand increases, this model is soon going to become unsustainable. She's the bottleneck. She has to do everything. And I feel like a lot of us have hit this wall where the very thing that made our service great, the individual attention, is now the thing we feel is holding us back. So this is where most businesses graduate or move on to stage 2. Sarah realizes she needs systems. Everything is being handled manually, but she's now using templates to make it easier. She's created a proposal template instead of writing new ones from scratch. She has written a client onboarding checklist so she doesn't forget key details in the mix of everything. And she's created pre-formatted reports that speed up her monthly updates. She's moved towards the templated zone of this matrix. This is what we call the standardized stage. But again, there's a little bit of a challenge here. She's still stuck on the manual side. She's working faster and maybe more efficiently, but she still hasn't really freed herself from execution. It's at this stage that growth is going to stall. The only way forward, we are told, is automation. Here's where we move into stage 3. This is where businesses think that if they can get here, they will have reached peak efficiency. They're going to automate everything. Proposals, auto-generated with client details. Reports, they're sent automatically. Onboarding, there's a welcome email sequence on day 1, 3, 5, and 9. So in this stage, Sarah has removed herself from the process. She's now in what she believes to be the scalable stage. But like most stages, there's a problem here. The problem is she's moved up to automated, but she's completely lost the custom, the personal touch. And if you've ever gotten a robotic email that just completely missed the mark, that's the issue here. Because what we are is not actually scalable here. I like to call this stage impersonal. Because in this stage, Sarah's systems assume that every client follows the same journey. But they don't. Some need hand-holding, others need just like quick insights, no fluff information, and some are going to panic over their ad spend every single day and are going to need extra reassurance. So this is where most businesses end. They think automation is this finish line, but clients don't move in straight lines. They are real people. So how do we move beyond this stage of thinking that automation is the thing that's going to make us scalable? But what if we could move into a stage that focused on adaptation? And this is what takes us to stage 4, the nexus of both automated and custom. So in this stage, Sarah is no longer just automating tasks. She is designing an experience for her clients that dynamically adapts to their psychology, behavior, and emotional state. It's at this stage the system is not just reacting to input. Click this, open this. It's anticipating needs. It's removing unnecessary friction, and it's balancing human and tech interaction in real time. If you're a millennial like me, remember the days of MapQuest when you had to print off 20 pages of directions to find out how to get somewhere? That was great and it was very clear, but what happens when you got somewhere and there was construction and the exit that MapQuest told you to take wasn't available? What did you do? Versus today, we all now have real-time GPS and Waze and Google Maps that will change our route in real time. Here's the key behind all of this. We are here at Automated and Custom. This stage is not about reinventing the wheel every single time for every client. It's about building a structured foundation that still has the ability to flex when needed. Let's look at Sarah again. In her agency, onboarding isn't a rigid process. It's built for adaptability. If a brand new client comes in and has never worked with an agency before, they will get a what to expect walkthrough and extra guidance in those few weeks so they can feel confident working with their agency from the get-go. If a client has a lot of experience working with agencies, they will skip the hand-holding and just jump a little bit further down the road to start immediately on strategy. It's the same system, they're just jumping in at different entry points. Same with her client communication. It's going to adjust to different working styles. At the end of the day, all clients are getting updates and all clients are getting reports. Some clients love Slack and they want real-time updates as things happen. Others like weekly or bi-weekly email recaps, so it's really focused on just structured, summarized information, so they're not getting bothered constantly. It's the same reporting method, it's just a different delivery method. Her project workflow is designed to also handle client behaviors without bottlenecks. If they have a client that is consistently slow to get feedback or to sign off on approvals, just going to shift some deadlines or remove extra review rounds so the projects don't stall or get massively behind deadline. If a client is very hands-on and loves to collaborate in order to reach a decision, they get an interactive workspace or time face-to-face with someone on Sarah's team to leave feedback and review in real time. The workflow is the same, but there's different engagement levels. Even the way that they structure their offers is adaptive. If they have a client who is just drowning in meetings and their calendar is so overwhelming, they don't offer weekly calls. They offer a Loom video to maybe recap what was being worked on that week. If they notice that one of their clients is not really using a part of the package they're paying for, they proactively offer to swap out to something more valuable before they even ask. The big shift I want to offer you here is this. Adaptive does not necessarily equal automation. Automation at its very base level is if X, then Y. An adaptive version would go, if X, should we do Y or skip Y? Or should a human do that? Or should we just reframe Y entirely? Most businesses stop at automation thinking we've optimized everything. We're done. Let's just go off to Tahiti with our laptops and watch the money roll in. But real optimization is about knowing when to break the rules. So the takeaway I'm going to leave you with today is the 3 elements of an adaptive client experience. Number 1, behavior. We need to make actions meaningful because an adaptive system doesn't just track what a customer does, it ensures those actions matter. Because every step in a journey should feel logical, valuable, and seamless for the customer, so they take the time to do it. Number 2 is psychology. An adaptive journey is going to align with how people actually think. Because here, customers don't just follow steps, they interpret them. So a great adaptive system anticipates decision-making patterns, emotional triggers, cognitive overload, and meets your customers where they're at. And finally, number 3, experience. We want to create a journey that feels effortless because a great customer experience doesn't just feel efficient, it feels good. We want to design our systems so that customers feel guided rather than just processed. Most businesses are going to stop at automation thinking they've hit peak efficiency, but the ones that truly thrive, They create systems that don't just scale, they adapt. Scaling isn't about removing yourself and removing humans from the process in order to make it faster, easier, or more profitable. It's about making your experience adaptive, responsive, and deeply human. So if you are ready to stop treating automation like a finish line and start building systems that actually flex, I have a free resource for you. It's linked in the video description below. It's called From Transaction to Trust, and it is 5 questions that are going to help you build an adaptive client journey. It's got a lot more specific examples if you're kind of scratching your head and going, Nikki, I don't really understand what this means. So don't worry. I'm going to walk you through the exact questions. And hey, if you want to see more tested in the wild experiments and operations and customer experience, you can hit that subscribe button. That'd be pretty cool. Because remember, we here at the Op Shop are not just building efficient machines, we're building brilliant, adaptive businesses. And we'll see you in the next episode.